Hello everyone, welcome to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video. I'm Quoros, and today we are going to be going over the Battle Pass partners for this second Battle Pass to see which one could be right for your account, which one's right for my account, and generally just do an account review, see where I'm at, and see what, this Battle Pass partner can do for me. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, keep watching and we will jump right into it. And if you like this sort of content, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment on what kind of stuff you want to see more of. So jumping right in, I literally just hit 30 today, as you can see. And so I now have the Battle Pass partner unlocked. I can choose my partner as a reward. And you can see that I, like a lot of other players, picked Nyx for my first one. That's why it says I already have owned one of her. And the boring thing to do here would be to just get another copy of Nyx to put on other controllers or to upgrade the passive a little bit more, one more level. Although I'm going to go over first off why I think that's a bit of a silly idea, and then we'll go over what I actually think is right for my account. So if I go into my combatants list here and I look at who currently has Nyx, right now I have her on Ray. So I can go in here and look at the partners, and if I were to go into the upgrade and manifest ego, I can preview what actually changes at each level, and so we can see I would get 2 more HP and healing percent increase, and when I draw for the first time, 2% more damage dealt by allies for 1 turn. It's pitiful. It's so close to being nothing that, like, that's, unless you're like a hyper whale and you have signature partners for everyone else already, then I wouldn't even consider doing a manifest ego for a battle pass partner at this point. I am not in such a state. You can see that I pulled Yuki and I pulled Chizuru, and I have both of their signature partners. I don't have signature partners for anyone else. I haven't pulled on the standard partner banner at all. I haven't spent any of my purple memories on getting signature partners, so I still could have an upgrade for potentially anyone. And one thing I could do would be to get a second copy of Nyx and put her on Mika or put her on Nia or someone else. But really, other than like Hyperspace Basin, which I don't think is really hard enough at this point to warrant trying to like super optimize both sides in that way, we've got the Great Rift as the only content we have that requires 2 teams. And right now, the first side of the Great Rift is not like a nothing burger, but it requires far less optimization than the second side. So really, I think having only 1 copy of Nyx that I can pass around between combatants as needed is perfectly fine, and pulling a second copy is really unnecessary at this stage in the game. So that being said, let's go over the other options we have and see how well they would fit into my account. So first off, we have Priscilla. She is the striker partner, and so increases HP and damage dealt to Ravage State. You'll notice that in my account, I do not have Mei Lin. The only strikers I have leveled, the only striker I have leveled is Yuki, and she already has her signature partner, so really that's not going to be an upgrade for me. The only other person I could like foreseeably even put it on is Owen, and I have left Owen completely unleveled at this point, so I think that'd probably be a bit of a waste considering I'm not planning to use Owen anytime soon. So that being said, if you did have a Mei Lin that you didn't have a signature partner for, that might be a good choice to get Priscilla, but not for me right now. Now let's look at Eishlen. So Eishlen increases health and shield gain by 8%, and when they counterattack for the first time or gain counterattack for the first time, plus 15% defense-based damage amount. And then they've got like a good like shielding skill. Now, my Vanguard right now that I have leveled is Calippe. And Calippe, she does generate shields with a good amount of her cards. So the increased shield gain works, but the second part where gaining counterattack lets you get a defense-based damage boost isn't really something that she does on her own. None of her cards naturally give her counterattack, and she doesn't have any abilities that naturally let her get counterattack. Right now, the only way she's getting counterattack is from the partner that I'd have to be replacing in order to put Eishlen on, so I don't think this is a very good choice for me. However, if you do have a leveled up counterattack based Vanguard who you're really liking and want to get even more mileage out of, like Maribel, who does not have a signature partner, or Magna, and you don't have Magna's signature partner, then Eishlen would be a good fit. But again, not for me. Then moving on to our next option, we've got Solia, who is the Ranger partner. She boosts extra attack damage of the assigned combatant and boosts when they draw for the first time each turn. They get plus 10% attack card damage, and then she does 250 damage and has the Mark 1 ability. And that's a pretty darn good little ability there too. So going over my Rangers, which is definitely the class I have leveled the most of, I've got Hugo, I've got Veronica, and I've got Beryl. Now, if we wanted to fit this in somewhere, let's first look at Beryl. So, Solia boosts mostly extra attack stuff, which if you, like me, and you have a save data with a couple of opening founds, it boosts that damage by a decent amount. However, the other part where it boosts the damage of attack cards won't be getting as much use, even though in this build I do still often play things like quick shelling and the basic attacks when I have extra HP, which, since I play her with Mika, is often the case where I'll have the extra AP to do those things, but I feel like it's not quite optimal, if you know what I mean, especially because the guilty pleasures that I have for her are, you know, exhaust. Most of them are exhaust. There's only one epiphany, I think, that gets rid of an exhaust on it, so she doesn't get to activate that effect often. Now, Hugo, the way I play him, he doesn't do a whole lot of drawing. He's got drawing from Quick Fix in like the save data that I like for him. But other than that, he's not really drawing cards. So that aspect where it increases his attack card damage, again, I have some decent attack cards on him, but it's not really what I care about. What I care about is the extra damage, which is good for Hugo and what I'm doing with him. So it's not a bad pick, although I think right now the boosting over my level, like my maxed out Daisy, you know, it's not that much of a difference. The difference, you know, this is still the same number, 20% versus 20%. Instead of getting that 10% attack card boost when I draw, instead, there's a 40% chance I gain morale, which is a 20% damage boost, and that can apply to all of the extra attacks, not just the cards. So I think this is still better for Hugo. However, Veronica, I only have the 3-star partner, and, you know, increasing attack percent is good, but Veronica, she lives and dies on her extra attacks, on her generated ballistas, and she also is drawing all the gosh darn time. And because those extra attack ballistas come from cards, not just something that's sort of like innate, like Hugo's commenced the hunt stacks, the drawing to increase the damage percent of attack cards actually works on the ballistas. So I think that is right now my strongest pick of the Battle Pass partners that we've gone over, so let's keep that in mind, and let's still entertain the rest of my options. There is Serithea, who is the Hunter, and this is, you know, critical chance of attack cards, And when you get critical hits, +5 critical damage, stacking up to 5 times. So you can read it as sort of 8% critical chance and then 50% critical damage. Definitely not bad at all. A nice little stat boost, especially considering how hard it can be to get crit rate in this game. But then again, if you look at my combatants, I don't actually have any of the hunters leveled up, and I'm probably not going to anytime soon. My resources are just kind of spread too thin. I would like to try the hunter team with both Luke and Lucas at some point in the future, but for right now where my account is, I think it's just too future sighted, not giving me enough value in the moment. Then we've got Anteia as sort of the last option here, and she is the psionic partner, and the assigned combatants' HP and damage are increased by 8%. Good generic effect. When a card is created for the first time by the assigned combatant each turn, +8 damage amount to attack cards for 1 turn. Now, this is great for Kayron. It's good for Tressa. It's good for Chizuru. It's good for pretty much all of them, although you can definitely see that the ego skill, the 180 damage to all enemies, and the one vulnerable is definitely a better boost to someone like Kayron, who in his cards likes doing lots of really big hits rather than Tressa, who is more of a death by 1,000 cuts character. And Chizuru we're not really going to entertain. I have her signature partner, so not really as important. And Tressa's current partner, Eloise, I have again at the max ego manifestation. I'm already boosting attack card damage by 20%, and I'm already increasing attack card damage by 24% when I exhaust a card, which is all the time with the Shadow Daggers. You're generally generating more than one at a time. So again, not as big of a boost, which means pretty much the far and away clear winner for my account, at least, is going to be Solia. However, there is a stipulation. We know that Serithea is just around the corner, and we have no idea what she does. We do not know if she wants any of these Battle Pass partners. We don't know if her signature partner is going to be really, really, really good and a big marginal boost over a Battle Pass partner, or if it's going to be a little bit more underwhelming, like, say, Westmacott ended up being for Yuki. We just don't know at this point, but as of recording, we have a live stream coming tomorrow with the roadmap, and I'm sure there's going to be more information on Serithea available very soon, considering the update that's supposed to release alongside her is coming out in just under a week. So we should know very, very soon what she does and what kind of partner she's going to want. And I'm not dying to click that button and get rid of this red dot. I can exercise some self-control until we have a bit more of an answer, and I would encourage you, if your resources are limited and you don't like pulling on signature partners, to see what Serithea is like, to see if maybe you want her before clicking any of these buttons. But I will say, though, that based on my account, if I end up having enough to pull on Serethea's signature partner, and that looks like a good idea, I might just go ahead and do so. And in that case, I'm almost certainly going to be grabbing Solia so that I can put Solia on Veronica. That's pretty much all I wanted to cover today. This was sort of the mini account review and Battle Pass partner overview for the second Battle Pass, which I think is a lot more of an interesting discussion than the first Battle Pass, where pretty much everyone was just saying, go get Nyx. So, yeah, hopefully you found this helpful, and the analysis of my account can help you do some analysis on your own accounts and figure out what the right option is for you. If you found this helpful, go ahead, leave a like, and feel free to subscribe to the channel and comment on who you're planning on picking for the Battle Pass, assuming nothing changes when Serethea's info gets released.